coaches, Coach Ross here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our screen passing game that we used in the 21 season and what worked well for us and how we instructed it, and also to show you a few cut-ups. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe to this channel if you like the content that I provide and want to see any future content. So let's get into it. All right, so we carry about 3 screens in our offense. We have our Randy and our Larry, which are to our outside receivers, our X and Y. We have our Rita and our Lisa, which are to our inside slot receivers, Z and H. And then we also have a F push screen that we use as well. Here we are looking at our 2x2 set. We're going to talk about Larry and Randy first. So first coaching point that we tell is for our slot receivers to make sure that they go flat for 5. They want to go flat down the line of scrimmage for 5 yards, and they're to block the most dangerous man, which typically in this case is usually the corner, because once the corner reads what the outside receiver is doing, he starts coming forward. So typically he ends up being the most dangerous man. But we kind of leave it up to the slot receiver to make sure that they signify who the last man is, or excuse me, not the last man, but the most dangerous man. But the rule is that they still need to go flat for 5 towards the corner, because that's initially where the receiver, once he gets the ball, is going to want to go. So what we tell the receiver that's getting the ball is we tell them to take 2 steps up and then retrace back towards the quarterback, and they're going to catch. And we try and tell them to lean into the catch to try and garner that momentum to go towards upfield. So quarterback's aiming point essentially is his inside shoulder. So we want to make sure that the quarterback just turns and throws that inside shoulder of the receiver. And the receiver's job is then from there, once it has the ball, is to get inside here and then get back out towards the sideline and break up towards the sideline. So that's why we tell our slot receiver to make sure that he is going flat for 5 to block, typically, or get in the way of that corner. And one thing we also make sure that we hammer out when we start installing this play is we make sure that the receivers understand you are not necessarily blocking the man, especially where he's at right now, because typically what's going to happen is this corner will follow and come down and try and meet the receiver here. So what sometimes we see is H, he wants to instead go and block the man here, and he's going to overrun the block, and the corner will be able to just slip the block and make the play. So instead, what we tell the receiver is to go flat for 5, and then come up, and basically it's almost like a stop block trying to get in his way, is that corner will run right into that block. So again, what we tell them is to block where that defender is going to be, not where they're at right now, but where they're going to be. So they're going to be right in this general area right here. So that's where you need to come and meet them. So you go flat for 5 down the line of scrimmage, and you're essentially stock blocking that corner, allowing the receiver to make the catch and get back out towards the sideline. So again, it's 2 steps. He's going to retrace, catch the ball, and he's going to try and get back out. Now on the backside, we handle it the same way as our quick game. We are having the backside do double slants. Inside's doing a 1-step slant. Outside's doing a 3-step slant. And we give the quarterback freedom here. If we see the coverage, if this coverage is, for example, if this coverage is off and these slants are open, just like when we run a stick or corner, if that slant is there, we take the yards. We take the easy completion. So the quarterback has that option. And that all goes in with him diagramming the defense when he comes up the line before he starts his cadence. Is he's going to look at what defense is giving him, and from there he's going to make his decision. And this is just the same thing for the other side. This is our Randy play here, and rules still say the same. Z is going to go flat for 5 down here and block where this defender is going to be, or where we expect them to be. So again, we expect this corner to break on the ball towards the Y, and then Y simply is going to, he's going to take 2 steps, retrace back, catch the ball, get in, get out. And again, we expect this corner to come down. So again, we say most dangerous man. Typically what's going to happen, we'll see this linebacker eventually just move with the receiver. So essentially he kind of gets in the way and follows and kind of plays himself out. and he's able to make the play. Now, if this corner is that far back, Z has the option to then make the block right here, and then it's a one-on-one with the corner. So those are a couple little coaching points. Again, that's why we say most dangerous man, because it could very well be this linebacker or safety or whatever it is covering our slot receiver, depending on if he breaks the ball. So Z or H has to make that decision when they go on flat 5 who the most dangerous man is. Is it going to be the defender that's head up with them, or will it be the corner? And again, rules still the same. 2 steps, retrace, catch the ball, get in and get out towards the sideline. So here is our quick screens out of our 2x2 set. We call these Lisa and Rita. So the rules are kind of the same. Now, this was probably our most successful screen, so we ran this one quite a bit. We had major success with both Rita and Lisa out of ace and also out of early or late, our trip sets. Just because H and Z were 2 of our best athletes, and they were able to make the plays in space that we needed, and they were able to turn a simple 1-yard pass or a 0-yard pass into quite a big game. And so this turned out to be one of our more popular plays. And typically, we use the screen game almost as an extension of our outside running game. Because we only carry 2 runs. This almost served as basically another run for us. It was a way to get outside. The reason we like screens so much is because, again, especially with this one, it forces the defense to be able to cover laterally, sideline to sideline. This is definitely one of those plays where it stretches the defense as much as possible. So because we are trying to attack the outside portions of the field. So in the rules here, X, again, as you can see here, flat for 5. So again, we're looking for most dangerous man as well. And rules are still the same with Rita and Lisa as they are with Randy and Larry. Is again, you are going to block where that defender is going to be. Now, with this play, a lot of times it kind of did us a favor because the corner was typically playing like mainly a soft man defense. But when he saw the motion, when he would see the motion of the receiver coming in to block the inside, he would go along with the receiver and almost essentially run himself out of the play. And you'll see that in some of the cutups I have. So essentially him blocking that head up defender over our H or over our Z was the best choice because, again, it brought this corner and the corner would almost run himself out of the play, and then it would give us this open lane up here the sideline. So again, flat for 5, most dangerous man was this head up defender over the slot, because a lot of times what kind of coverage we saw softer coverage for the most part from the corners, but they would play tight on our slots. So naturally, if we see this kind of an alignment, this right here, this player here, this defender is going to be our most dangerous man. And so again, flat for 5, excuse me. Flat for 5, and again, same thing as Larry and Randy, is you are blocking where that defender is going to be. Now, typically, that defender is going to run this way, so may not necessarily be flat for 5, but you are going to block where that defender is going to be, and we expect that defender to be in that general area if he is following or playing man with the slot receiver. So in this case here, for Lisa, what this receiver is doing is essentially just taking one step and then almost backpedaling towards the sideline this way, and essentially just showing the quarterback his chest, and the quarterback is simply just getting the snap, turning and firing. And once that player has the ball in his hands, he's making a quick move, turning his hips and getting out to the sideline and up the sideline as quick as he can. And that's it. That's essentially our screen game as far as Lisa and Rita. Now again, we have backside slants as well. So if we have the option to take the slants, we will take them. We never really had to because we just were able to hit this and have success with the screen itself. So we never really hit the backside slants on our screen game at all over the course of the season. But we have them there available. Now, with regards to the running back, we do a couple different things with him. We will have him swing out sometimes if the screen's out there, the quarterback sees something before he snaps the ball, doesn't like it, we have the option of swinging him out. But also, we also tell run back, and we do it by a simple little signal what we want him to do. We typically tell him just to come in here and first man through, just protect the A gaps. First man through. If they overload on a blitz, he's to get first man through the A gaps. Is our 3x1 set. This is late, and we are looking at our Lisa out of late, and essentially the only changes here is Z would have an option block essentially here. All right, again, Z is going to have most dangerous man, whether that be the man that's head up in front of him, or quite possibly it could be this man right here. Now, again, just like with our Rita and Lisa out of our ace formation, a lot of times what we saw is the defender that was over the outside receiver, and that defender saw that receiver not pay attention to him and kind of move in an opposite direction. Typically what would happen is that defender would run with the receiver, which would clear some space and also run that player basically out of the play. So a lot of times what we ended up blocking was this inside defender, because we saw this inside defender a lot of times really, really close to the line of scrimmage. So he was definitely obviously the most dangerous man. Our outside receiver, whether it be X or Y, is just basically just going to be on a man block and try and seal that corner to the inside. Same rule. Basically the receiver is just going to take one step and then turn his hips and backpedal, showing the quarterback his chest. Quarterback's just going to turn real quick and throw the ball. And once the receiver has the ball in his hands, he's making a quick turn to his hips and he's trying to get to the sideline as quick as he can. And that is our rules. They don't change. And on the backside, we have the backside slant. We also have the swing to the outside as well, or we tell F to either stay in and pick up first man through the A gaps. And this is just a look at Rita out of our early set here. Same rules apply. The only thing I didn't draw up here was that this receiver should be doing a one-step slant into the middle of the defense here. Essentially what we do is with the line, I didn't really touch on this on the other part of the video, is we essentially are just telling them to zone block, like we were running inside zone to that side. So if we're calling Rita, they're going to be zone blocking to the right. If we call Lisa, then they're going to be zone blocking to the left. So we're trying to look for a double team and trying to get one double team and just carry that to the second level as well. But all rules still stay the same. Z has essentially an option block here, looking for the most dangerous man, and again blocking where that defender is going to be. Y here is stock block in the corner, getting in his way, trying to seal him to the inside to protect the sidelines. H again is going to turn his hips, backpedal, and then once the ball's in his hands, make another quick turn and get up towards the sideline. And then again, we have our backside slant as well. And that is our Rita and Lisa out of our ace formation and out of our 3x1 set. We are looking at our F push screen here. Again, with all our other screens here, we are trying to attack the sideline. We're trying to attack the side of the field and get outside as quick as possible. And with this, we are trying to catch the defense off guard, not expecting a motion and not expecting a quick screen off that motion. So hopes that we can take advantage of one of these linebackers who is responsible for the running back here. On the outside here, it is just man-on-man blocking here. Again, one thing we harp on day in and day out of practice is getting the players to understand, especially with our screens, you are not blocking where the defender is pre-snap. You are blocking the defender where they're going to be post-snap. So they see the motion, and then they see the quarterback get the ball out to the running back's hands quick out here in the flats. Their initial reaction is going to run in the general direction of the play. Well, we tell the receivers to understand where's the play going, and you need to beat essentially that defender to that spot to make that block. You are not gonna run directly at the defender, because if you do, you're essentially going to end up chasing, because that defender is going to be trying to get to the ball. So if you run directly at him, you're going to miss your block. So we tell them to block where they're going to be. Now with our running back on the push motion, quarterback just pushes them in motion, gives them a little signal, and we tell the running back you are running laterally with the line of scrimmage, and your eyes should be on the outside receiver, because when he moves, that is an indication that you need to look for the ball. Because that play has started, the ball's been snapped. So he goes in motion. He's running as fast as he can. It's a fast motion. It's not real slow. It's a quick motion. And once he sees this player move, he turns and looks for the ball. Quarterback is going to try and lead him to the outside, basically aiming for, you tell him to aim for the outside shoulder to try and lead him. So if he throws that inside shoulder, he might end up throwing behind him. So we try and tell the quarterback to aim for that outside shoulder and try and get the ball out in front. And then from there, running back is just attacking the sideline. So we run this from essentially any formation we want. All it is just a simple little motion that we put the receiver in, and we are trying to play a numbers game here. So essentially we are going to try and attack where we expect them to cover 3 with 3. And then we put that fourth player in there, and it gives us a little bit of numbers advantage. Here we're looking at a quick screen to our left side of our 2x2 set here, and we're, I believe, on the 5-yard line here. So real quick, we're just trying to get to the outside as quick as we can and just get to that front pylon and score. And receiver does a good job. Outside receiver, our X receiver, does a good job getting away as far as block. And this was a very high percentage play for us that we used quite a bit. So we'll let it play out. And again, all we needed was him to make a quick one move and get to that front pylon. So we tell him we're that close to the goal line. Now our X receiver, he could have made a better block. We tell them most dangerous man, whether that be the outside linebacker or safety, whoever's covering. If they're close, whoever's basically closest, we tell them to go ahead and get in the way. But the number one coaching point that we tell them is don't block them where they're at right now, block them where they're going to be. So we make sure that they understand that and focus on an area where that player is going to be based on the coverage and based on the reaction to the play. And he did a good job there. Stop block, just getting in the way enough for the receiver to get into the end zone. Here's another quick screen to our right side this time. Again, this is probably one of our most successful plays here. We became a high screen team because it just was another extension of our run game, essentially. We get the ball out quick to one of our best athletes and trying just to get to the outside. Wide receiver here could have put on a better block, but our Z receiver in our ace formation here, 2x2 set, makes a good move and just gets to the outside and gets positive yardage. And that's all we're looking to do for this play, is just get positive yardage. And again, coaching point is most dangerous man. He should be blocking the corner right here, because as you can see, this outside linebacker, his eyes are in the backfield. So it'd be very, very difficult for him to make a play here, especially since he's pedaling back this way. Tough for this linebacker right here to make a play on the ball. And so essentially this receiver just needs to make a better block on the corner, stay with the block a little bit better. That's something we've kind of short up in practice a little bit, but we will play it out here. Again, it's just about using speed to get to the outside. He does a good job of getting in the way. And again, like I said, there's no way that outside linebacker with his eyes in the backfield are going to be able to make a play on that ball. And one of our fastest players just gets to the outside in positive yard. I think about a 7 or 8 yard gain, which we'll take every single time. Another clip of our quick screen out to our right side of our 2x2 set. Again, like I've been saying in other clips, this is one of our most successful plays, and we used quite a bit. I think we called it on average 4 or 5 times a game. We were a high screen team, like I said, because we could just get the ball out quick. And again, this was an extension of our outside run game, because our 2 best athletes are our slot receivers along with our running back. So we had no problem just using this almost as our outside run, and we had high success with it as well. So, and we especially like to use it down in the red zone here, just to get the ball out quick to our best athletes and just get to the outside. And it's basically just a race to the pylon. Again, he's pedaling out this way. Has a choice between blocking corner here or going to get the linebacker here. But again, as you can see, this linebacker's eyes are in the backfield, so it's going to be hard for him to make a play, especially since our slot receiver is sliding out to the outside here. We'll let it play out here. And a lot of times what we see too is receiver actually made a good choice because that play, that defender did come up. But a lot of times what we see is this corner will follow along with the receiver thinking he's running a route or just following because that's his assignment. And it actually clears out space for us right here as well for our receiver just to make a nice move out to the outside here. So then that's exactly what happened here is receiver made a good choice as far as who to block, because that player did quickly react and try and make a play on the ball. So he didn't make a good choice. And that corner, following his assignment, went along with the receiver to match or to stay with his assignment. So that, again, like I said, cleared up some open space for us to the outside. And that by that point, corner is already out of position. So it's an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. The recurring trend of our quick screen, again, it was one of our most successful plays. I know we repeat that at just about every single clip, but it's true. It was, and we had that philosophy of if they can't stop it, we're going to keep running it. And this is what we did because teams tried to adjust, especially to our 3-by-1 set, and just didn't seem to be able to stop this play no matter what. So we had a lot of success with it. We probably had more success out of our 3-by-1 set because of the adjustments the defense made. And I'm going to show you real quick right here. This is more later on in the game, but that's their safety right there. So there is no safety help. So we eventually took advantage of one-on-one with our outside receiver later on in the game. But this is their safety. Now the blocks, you watch this safety. What makes this play happen, at least open it up, is instead of coming down hard on to the receiver, he's about 7, maybe 8 yards off the ball. Our receivers do a good job of getting their blocks. He's going to come block him. He's going to come get the corner. This forces this safety, instead of having to come downhill to try and make a play, he has to go around the block to try and make the play, which again creates even more space for us to get up the sideline. You see, he has to go right around that block to try and get around to make the play. And it's a good little gain for us right there. So rewind one more time. As I said, he backpedals first, and then by that point, realizes the ball is going to our H receiver right here, and he has to go around the blocks, which creates that much more space. That's a good little play for us. Definitely see a trend here. Now this is another 3-by-1 set here, and we're calling a quick screen again to our inside receiver here. And this is what we see. We saw this a lot right here. This is what we're looking at right here. And this is what we want to take advantage of right here is this space. You can see where the safety is. He's center field, but he's almost 20 yards behind. So he's essentially out of the play. So what we see is we see 2 man-on-man blocks right here, and a chance to get to the outside right here is what we wanted to do. And we were able to do it on this team quite a bit. And just using the quick screen because they never really adjusted to it. You can see this linebacker right here communicating to the safety that, hey, we got 3 receivers over here, but at this point it's too late. Now, what you can't see is not the greatest camera work, but this play does go for about a 70-yard gain. You can't see, it doesn't score, but about a 70-yard gain, and it sets us up for our second touchdown of the day. And he makes the rest happen there. Let me rewind it though. However, again, this was our first game of the year, I believe, and you can see the blocking with our outside receivers wasn't the greatest. This is something definitely we fixed, because you see where his eyes are. He's watching the play. He should be focused in on this corner right here, and it's just he didn't even block him. And one of our best athletes is able to create in space. He did this quite a bit all year long, and he did the rest basically on his own. But if I rewind, you see that linebacker communicating to the safety. The safety never adjusted. So we still had 3-on-2. They were essentially covering 3-with-2 right here, and we took advantage of this space. This is the space we wanted to take advantage of right here, and that's exactly what we did. Good block on our slot receiver right here. Now, if this receiver blocks this corner better, or at least just gets in his way, then he doesn't have to make a move, and he doesn't have to fight off all these other defenders to try and make a bigger play. So he possibly could have even scored because he had to slow down quite a bit to make the moves to get free and up the sideline. But that did go for about a 74-yard gain, I believe it was. Got down to about the 3-yard line. They tracked him down. An example, this is probably the best example I have of our outside or our now screen that we throw to our outside receivers. And as you can see, the camera's kind of facing towards the track here. Wasn't the greatest camera work again. You'll see it pop up right when the receiver has the ball. Again, he's supposed to take 2 steps, retrace back towards the quarterback, and then get the ball, and then he's supposed to get upfield and then get out towards the sideline. So it's basically like a get in, get out kind of situation. And we had success with this play a little bit. We didn't run it as much because we just didn't need it, I guess you would say. But it was a good little play. We ran it a few times. I don't have very many clips of this one because just bad cam work or just it was hard to see. So this is probably the best one. And the frame, it will pop up in the frame here in just a second, and it's a good little gain for us. And we develop a play off of this that I'm going to show you next. So as you can see, he's catching the ball right now. He started here, took his 2 steps up and then retraces back. At that point, our slot receiver right here, he's going to get the corner because this player was the one that was responsible for our H receiver. So he backpedaled. And again, this is what we say get in and then get out here towards the sideline. Because this is what the space we're going to have available right here. And he does a good job of that. It's a good positive gain. That's all we want. That's all we want. Now we do develop a play off of this that we'll show you here in the next clip. As you can see, real quick hitter, and receiver does a good job with the ball in his hands. And this is the play we use here. This is our now and go screen, basically. And essentially, we are running the now screen over here to the right side out of our 2x2 set. So he's going to take his 2 steps and he's going to retrace. This is going to draw in the corner, and linebacker, which is right around here. No, he's right here. He's going to follow our slot receiver. Now the ball is going to eventually go to the slot receiver. And I'm going to remove some of this here just so you can see it better. So our slot receiver, he's going to fake like he's blocking the corner. He's going to show hands, and then he's getting up the sideline and he's going. So, and our quarterback, all he's doing is here, a little shoulder fake, and then he's throwing the ball over the top, right there. So we call this a now and go screen. So basically this would be Randy and go. So our outside screens are called Randy and Larry. Our inside screens are called Rita and Lisa. Or Rita and Lisa, excuse me. So we'll play this one out and show you what happens. You can see it's wide open because we ran the screen quite a bit before we threw this play. Receiver should have done a better job as far as selling the block, but by this point they saw the action of this receiver kind of coming here, and a lot of the defenders bit, which he just basically just ran a wheel route out and it was wide open. Play it one more time. Shoulder fake, then he throws over the top. At that point, defender's out of position, and not really much you can do. This is just an example of our third screen that we used, just our push screen. So quarterback just sends the running back in a push motion this way, and as he's going in push motion, he snaps the ball, and it's quick just throw right out to him, and it's just man-on-man blocks right here. So man-on-man blocks and get positive yardage. And that's all it was. That's all the screens we needed, and these were very, very successful for us, and very, I don't know what the percentage of the screens we threw, but we threw quite a bit because we were very successful with them. We ran them really, really well. Blocking could have been a little bit better, but for the most part, then we were very successful with our screen game. There's the push motion. Ball out quick. And just get to the sideline, make a few players miss. And again, we are not looking for touchdown every play. Now, if we can get it, that'd be great, but we're looking for positive yardage. Keep the chains moving. And that's all we need. And right there, you see that's on first down. So it's a good little gain for some first down. And those are the screens that we ran. Wrap up this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I try to get to this one as quick as possible. I know that my video's been running rather long, so I apologize for that. So I tried to go through this quick. I apologize if I said the same thing over and over again, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know. Any comments, please leave them below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get future content whenever I upload a video. And also give me some feedback. Let me know if you do something different, or if you have any suggestions. I'm open to anything. I love hearing from different coaches, different thoughts. So look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, I'll see you.